Is ethanol-free gas ideal for your classic Mercedes? You could also title this video, Does Fuel with Ethanol in It Hurt Your Classic Mercedes? So this is a kind of a controversial topic because some people will die on that hill and say that it's the worst thing, and some people say it's absolutely harmless. And I'm kind of in between. One of the reasons that I'm in between is because I realize that the environmental conditions that you use your car in, store your car in, where the fuel comes from is in, like, what kind of tank has it been sitting in, and what was your car's fuel system like before, all have a huge part to play in this. And so if you ask my friend Jamie, on one end of the spectrum, there are two spectrums here. So Jamie lives in New Jersey. In New Jersey, they've legislated most ethanol-free fuel out of existence unless you're buying avgas. So that means that you kind of have to live with ethanol gas, or contaminated fuel. Now, on the other hand, if you go ask the folks at CIS Flowtech, ethanol fuel is the worst thing ever. It absolutely destroys and rots fuel systems from the inside out, all fuel systems. And now we're going to try to clear up some of these myths and use a little bit of empirical data from my shop to determine where the real problem lies and what kind of steps you can take to avoid the problem. So the first problem with fuel that contains ethanol is that alcohol kind of dries out seals and gaskets in the fuel system and can have a very negative effect on small rubber parts or internal gaskets. So naturally, this is going to affect some cars worse than others. The cars that I think it negatively affects the most are carbureted cars. So if you're looking specifically at a classic Mercedes, really anything with a carburetor is not going to have a great run of things with ethanol gas, and anything that has a fuel distributor, so a KE or KE Jetronic car is going to have problems with ethanol fuel under various circumstances. In addition, there are certain nuances about the chemical behavior of ethanol fuel that may negatively affect starting in cars that have D-Jetronic fuel systems, Bosch D-Jetronic fuel systems. So to clarify a little bit about what those cars are, we're talking about 70 to 75, 3.5 liter, 4.5 liter, and European market 2.5 and 2.8 liter cars, although those are very rare. So if you have a 280 SE 3.5, 4.5, 450 SE, 450 SL, etc., anything 75 or older, going back to 1970, you're going to have electronic injection. So the first thing I will say is that the ethanol fuel makes these cars very difficult to start on any day that's 80 degrees or warmer. Now, on the other side of this, there's the whole problem with the ethanol actually damaging the rubber components inside a fuel distributor. So your fuel distributor has rubber diaphragms or gaskets that go between the different sections, sort of like layers of a cake. And these can get destroyed, and then they can start to pump rubber particles into your fuel injectors, as well as cause uneven fuel delivery or blocked fuel orifices or orifi inside the fuel distributor itself. This will cause inconsistent delivery, poor idle, low power. Sometimes the internal filter inside the fuel distributor will even get blocked with deteriorating particles. So, we like to be optimistic about this stuff and say, oh, it's going to be okay, but I think it just depends on the car and the net economic cost of running ethanol fuel versus non-ethanol fuel. So, as a rule, if you are driving and you can't get ethanol-free fuel, then you're just going to have to use ethanol fuel. You want to burn it all. Even if you're driving a carbureted car, you're going to need to burn it all and expect worse fuel economy, expect inferior gas mileage, not too inferior, but a little bit inferior. I mean, you can expect all of that stuff. The problem with ethanol is when it either contains water, when it's picked up water because it's hygroscopic, it loves to suck water out of the environment, and that includes, especially here in Florida where it's low and wet, fuel that has been languishing in gas tanks underground. And then, of course, it pulls water out of the environment once it's in your gas tank. So when your car sits, water might get in the fuel, and water can introduce the possibility of rust inside the fuel system, particularly if you have a 79 or older Mercedes with K-Jetronic that has a cast iron fuel distributor, or you still have your original injectors in your K-Jetronic or KE-Jetronic systems, which are cast iron and were later replaced with brass, because brass is not going to disintegrate so much when it comes in contact with water. It's not going to rust or corrode as badly, although it can still corrode. Now, one of the other things that I have to say that is imperative here is that if you have a dirty, disgusting fuel system to begin with, there's rust in your tank, your car's been sitting for a long time, you might blame the ethanol, but it's probably an underlying issue with your fuel system. Now, what do you do now if you're in a state like California, where we know we've heard all the stories of California? Okay, we don't have to go there, but they don't like ethanol fuel there, which I guess, whatever, can't do much about it. If you want to listen to someone complain, then there are plenty of YouTube channels for that. But I think that you have to do your best with additives that sort of mitigate the ethanol, break it up, rejuvenate the fuel by adding some lubricity back into it. So Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner, Marvel Mystery Oil, etc. Even Lucas makes an ethanol additive to keep your ethanol less dry. But there are all sorts of products in the market. But I think consistently, if you let your car sit around like 1 month, 2 months maybe, might not do so much harm, but 6 months, a year, and you don't drive the car regularly and it's the same tank of gas in it, that could be bad. So you might want to add stable and octane boost and some other things. So it's possible to get around the ethanol problem. Now, there are some cars that I haven't mentioned here, and specifically I'm going to talk about the cars with mechanical fuel injection. The MFI cars, like the mechanical fuel injection cars, those cars are not, they're not as sensitive, although they can vapor lock on hot days. So the problem is more with their electric fuel pump failing to deliver fuel. The LH cars, like the 400E, 500E, E320, I haven't seen where they've been bothered by it at all. So those are two cars where the effects are not as bad. But, there's really not too much else to say on the matter other than you need to make sure your fuel system is clean and you're providing some sort of chemical barrier to protect your car from the negative effects of ethanol fuel, if that's all you can get. Should it be a reason to not have a classic Mercedes? No, I don't think so. If in Florida they outlawed ethanol-free fuel, I would still find a way to make it work. I might have to run my cars dry and leave the fuel systems empty, or heavily additive the fuel systems if I was parking them, but that's really about all I can think of. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video about mitigating your car against the effect of ethanol, if you believe in such a thing. We will catch you in the next video, and please subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you so much.